gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of From the Chair with Big Money Exchange, where inclusion matters. Today, we are getting to interview yet another wonderful promotion, this time out of New Mexico, Dramatic Wrestling Entertainment. That's right. And the forehead decided to come back today. Nathan's not sitting upright in the bed, so you did get to see nothing but forehead today. So, talking forehead, take it away.
Well, thank you very much. I decided to bring out my alter ego apparently today. We want to thank you for being on today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your promotion?
My stage name is Thunder. My real name is Jorge Gallegos. I'm from New Mexico. Our promotion started almost 3 years ago in October. Started Dynamic with just the hope of having a promotion in New Mexico because New Mexico wrestling had went away for a while, and we wanted to give the boys an opportunity to work closely with us, to train, and to be able to work shows, and also not have to drive 10 hours on a Saturday and then drive back 10 hours to get home to their regular jobs, because most wrestlers have a regular job Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So that's kind of what our inspiration was, just to help the boys be able to learn their art and display it for the amazing fans of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Very nice. Can you tell us some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
My number one wrestling hero was Shawn Michaels, actually. He was my number one hero. And, of course, before Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, all the ones that everybody else liked. I was really into that. I think Kurt Angle has a big inspiration to me, wrestling-wise. He's just a really good wrestler, and I just think the world of that guy. I mean, he's done so much in his career, and he's fought against broken necks and different things like that. He's endured the test of time for sure.
Very nice. Tony, do you have a question?
Who are some of the biggest? What are some of the biggest rivalries in your company?
The biggest rivalry right now is our owner, Bobby McGee, which couldn't be here today, but against Sid Luciano, and also Turbo Tony versus Tunes Loco, which is the co-promoter. His name's Cooking with the Homeboy. He promotes with us. We've got some bumping of the heads there. So this Saturday night at Summer Festival, it's going to be Turbo Tony versus Sid Luciano for the Dynamical Championship. Which I'll give you a little backstory. We had a Dynamical Battle Royal, and Bobby McGee came out, and he wrestled with Sid for a minute, got thrown out. Tony came out. We had the whole Battle Royal. Tony twisted his knee, went and got medical attention in the back. Sid pretty much won the Dynamical Battle Royal, but since Tony wasn't thrown out, he came in, put the TKO on Sid, and ended up becoming Dynamical Champion. So Sid's pretty bitter about it, and he really wants his shot at gold.
I can see why, but that was a pretty smart move. So
yeah. Whether it was intentional or not, Tony came out on top. So he's been the Dynamical Champion now for a good 4 months, and he claims the longest running Dynamical Champion, which he is, because that bout was introduced at our spring festival. So
very nice. Let's do top 5 tag teams of all time.
Top 5 tag teams of all time. Let's see. My personal favorite, and I'll go with them, is Demolition. I don't know, for some reason when I was a kid, I thought they were the coolest thing ever. Let's see, the Mega Powers.
Right.
Road Warriors, of course. New Age Outlaws are very good. And last but not least, we'll go with the Heart Foundation because, it's a lot of 80s wrestling that inspired me to be a wrestler.
Very nice. And I would agree with that. And with Demolition, it was the hoods, wasn't it? Because that's what did it for me, was like the hoods and the face paint.
Yeah, the hoods and the red tongue for some reason.
Yep. That's
Mine
kind of
was
what
the
did
music.
it for me, too.
Mine was the music. I loved their entrance music.
They had it all around. I agree. I love the music too. It was just really just dark and it just was just right in your face. I liked it too.
Let's stick with the top 5. Let's do top 5 female wrestlers.
Top 5 female wrestlers. I would have to say Charlotte Flair. For sure is my number one. I mean, if you can see her ring work, she is just top notch, man. Top notch. Any match that I've ever watched of her is great. I would have to say Medusa. I just wrestled on a show with Medusa this last year in Lubbock, Texas, and she's a pretty nice lady, and I thought she was a great wrestler too. I'd have to say Mae Young and the Great Moolah. They were great also. Who really strikes me right now? Who's really, really good? I'd say Bailey's pretty good right now. I like her work. I like her mental work and the way she just perceives herself. Really, really entertaining.
I like that list, especially Bailey. I don't think Bailey gets the respect that she needs.
Mm-hmm. I think she has a lot of good. She's good in the ring, but she's also good at making you believe that she is just rotten. You know what I mean? She just makes you feel like she's rotten, and that's really good. Good thing to have in wrestling, of course.
And she was one of the first ones. She was one of the first ones too that like made you love her like so much. When she did the hugging Bailey, but like you said, at the same time, make you hate her even worse, if not.
Yeah, exactly. We have a wrestler, Manny Lee, and he wrestles for us now. And he comes out in like a Karate Kid gimmick.
Right.
And you like him at first, but he's so nice and pure that you just start hating him towards the end of the match. You really don't want to root for him no more after he's so pure and nice. But it's a turnaround. Like towards the end of the match, you're like booing him. You're just like, I don't want this guy to win no more.
It's like this guy's kind of annoying, even though at first I was like, I really like him, but
yeah.
What's the biggest name that has worked for your promotion?
The biggest name that's worked for my promotion right now has been Hobo Hank. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He's had a documentary on Vice. He's actually my best friend in real life too.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's been in Eric Bischoff's book. He's got a good long longevity. He's pretty good. I mean, you guys should get him on. He's pretty popular down here. He's a hometown hero for sure.
Definitely gonna have to work on that.
We'll have to look him up and get him on here.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest one so far. I mean, like I said, we're a pretty new promotion, about a year and a half going. 2.5 years going. We're looking to make some big moves coming in the next year, and we'll probably have some big names coming.
Gotcha.
Let's do top 5. Go ahead.
I'll also say we'll have Mosh Pit Mike on our roster too. He's another good friend of mine. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's really big in the GCW.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, he is huge. he's actually a bodyguard for the Insane Clown Posse on his off time when they're in
That's
concert.
the other thing I knew him from.
Yeah. So he's been everywhere. I mean, internationally, and he's also a good friend of mine. Also, he also
Ooh.
helps me book the shows. So
Ooh, wow.
Very nice. But my first ever concert was an ICP concert. So
wow. Hey, what a way to break it, man.
I know. Definitely a culture shock, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. His first match ever was in a ICP. Holy smokes!
Wow.
And the funny thing was, I went to another concert after that, but ICP does a chop line when you go into their concerts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my brain thought, well, that's what they do at all the concerts, right? Because first concert, right?
Yeah.
So I go into the next one, I'm like, where'd the chop line go? Like, that's, isn't that supposed to be what, like?
That was the norm. You started your own chop line.
There you go.
That would be funny. What are you doing at a country concert chopping everybody? Hey, I seen it at the first concert I ever went to, man.
Thought that was the norm.
I was going to say, isn't this normal?
Let's see here. Top 5 male wrestlers.
Top 5 male wrestlers, of course. Shawn Michaels is my number 1. Macho Man, Kurt Angle. I mean, there are just so many. It's hard to diverse all of them. I mean, those would be my top 3. I mean, just going along, Ivan Putski, when I was like 4 years old, that guy was like made me want to wrestle too. Like just now thinking about it, my brothers used to watch wrestling when I was young, and I would see Ivan Putski and him flex, and I mean, it was pretty inspiring. The Rock, Stone Cold. I mean, the list can go on, and it's a debate for the ages, really. Ric Flair. I mean, you could go on forever, right?
Absolutely. But I do have to say that's the first on this podcast as far as Ivan Putski goes. And now that I say that, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah. But that's when I was 4 years old. But what, 1985, 1984, somewhere around there.
Wow.
He was huge. I mean, he was on TV, right? So.
Yeah, I was born in '82, so I'm right there with you, right in that. So I understand that.
What was big what inspired you when you're young, that's kind of just sticks in your head and kind of like just molds what you want to do and what you like, right?
Exactly.
So, what's the best gimmick match that your promotion has ever done?
Gimmick match, like you mean like tables, ladders, and chairs kind of thing, or?
Yeah, or like bull ropes, dog collars, whatever
the Dynamical Battle Royal was the best gimmick match because it wasn't a traditional Battle Royal. The Battle Royal was pinfalls, submissions, and throw out, and weapons. So we had the whole 9 yards there. And then if you got hit with something and you got pinned, It was over. It just wasn't throw over the top rope. So we kind of came with some dynamics out the gate when we created that belt and that Battle Royal. So.
Okay, before you ask your question, Tony, I have to do this. God bless you, sir. I've had that discussion with my friends so many times on that exact Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for putting that into existence. That makes me feel very happy right now.
Well, and I believe in the future we're going to have that Battle Royal every single year, and the dynamical champion is going to have to defend his belt in that Battle Royal. So he can lose, and somebody could be dynamical champion after. So, and we're going to do that same Battle Royal every single year. It's going to be just for that title. So,
very
very cool. All right, well, Mr. Forehead, his fingers are a little sticky because his favorite snack is peanut butter. So, what is your favorite cookie or snack?
My favorite snack. I'm kind of boring, but my favorite snack is tomatoes. I love cherry tomatoes. So that's something. That's something that I
Interesting.
snack on a lot. Being diabetic, I really can't have it like cookies or anything like that. So that's kind of my go-to. So cherry tomatoes. And people would see me at work and they're like, "What are you doing?" I never seen anybody eat so many tomatoes, but they're good. I mean, that's just good.
Yeah.
That again, that's the first. We've asked that question a lot. I think that's the first time somebody said tomatoes.
Yeah,
We've had avocados once, but we've never had tomatoes. So yes, that was a first.
avocados, nice. That's a good one.
Um,
It's like an expensive snack, but hey,
it is an expensive snack.
To be fair, it was the luchador that said that, though. So
Yeah, of course.
That is true.
Okay, so he probably stockpiles them in Mexico.
So, how did you come up with the character name of Thunder?
Thunder. Whenever I started training back in 1998, we were sitting around the table, and my trainer says, "Hey, you know what? You've lasted, the first 2 months of getting your face bashed in and your body broken. It's time to start thinking of what you want to be called, right?" So I came up with some names. I think I started with Rain. I don't know, Smart Guy, just some bogus ones, and I happened to say Kid Thunder, and he's like, "You know what? I've never heard Kid Thunder before, so we're gonna roll with that." And he's like, "I've never actually heard anybody call themselves Thunder other than American Gladiators, so there you go. You're gonna be Kid Thunder from now on." So a few years later, I dropped the kid and just became Thunder, and the rest is history. I've been doing it for 25 years now. So
Very nice. That's a very powerful name. So,
not to mention
Yeah.
it's easy to chant. People love chanting it. Like I just get chants no matter what. I mean, it's an easy chantable name. So
well, that
Very
and
true.
easy entrance music, right? All you have to do is get like a recording of some thunder in the background or something with some
yeah, Thunderstruck has been the go-to. And as much as
Yep.
as much as I try to get away from it, it always comes back to me. It always comes back. No matter where I go, the promoters I want you to come out for Thunderstruck. Every time. And I've tried to lose the song, but it
So
comes
at
back.
some point, then do you just say forget it? I'll just go with it because if they're gonna do it anyway, I might as well just.
Definitely, most definitely.
Okay, so in your personal opinion, who's the best wrestler turned actor?
Probably The Rock. I mean, hands down. I mean, he has the most money, right? So you want to gauge it by that. I mean, he's everywhere right now. He's mainstream. I did really enjoy Rowdy Piper's movies, though, when I was a kid. Those are some of my favorite movies. The Rock and Wrestling movie, I think I watched that movie 10 million times. Like, it was just so awesome. To have rock and roll and wrestling together was just, I love that movie. That movie was
Yeah.
great.
And even though it gets panned a lot, They Live for what it was a great movie also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was a great actor too. And I mean, he don't get enough credit acting wise and wrestling wise. I mean, he's underrated wrestling, but he was an amazing wrestler too. I mean, just because he didn't win a strap doesn't mean he wasn't impactful. That's for sure.
But he's huge down where we live because we're like 45 minutes away from Portland.
Yeah.
And so because he was so close to that area, you mentioned Roddy Piper around here and everybody's eyes just like light up.
Oh, I bet.
Well, I'm actually in his actual hometown today. I'm actually in Beaverton, so
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
yeah. So
You want to hear something funny? I actually, I mean, going back and once you said that, I remember him shooting a promo down there in his hometown for the WWE. Like what was it, closed circuit television or whatever they used to call it back
Yep.
then. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Before internet. And
Yep.
I recall that he was out on his ranch or, you know, in a just a big piece of land, and he was doing his interviews. So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
weird how you just remember these little tiny things. I've watched probably 10 million wrestling shows, and just those little tiny things that you remember.
Yep.
So is it your question, Nathan? Yeah, it is, isn't it? No?
No, it's yours.
Okay, well, I'm going to take this chance to make our first announcement, just because I can't wait anymore.
Plus, his name's Tony, so he's trying to get the Tony Khan announcement thing going.
Well, I'm going to wait and do the big money one later, but I want to congratulate Colorado Springs Wrestling for putting on a great show for Headlocks for Hospice last night. And for those of you fans that were watching last night, I promised you I'd break in and let you know the hot-hitting information on who won, who lost. Well, last night, Colorado Springs crowned 3 brand new up-and-coming young stars, defeating the old regime and bringing in the new. So congratulations, CSW, for doing something that other promotions should honestly quite do. You know, give it to the up-and-coming people. So congratulations to Type 1 Warrior.
Yeah, there you go.
Type 1 Warrior, Jack Dillon, and Miss Pandemonium for winning the CSW Heavyweight Championship, Women's Championship, and 719 Championship. Now, back to you, Nathan. Oh, I'm sorry, forehead.
So, in your wrestling career, what is the scariest injury you've ever had?
I was wrestling Doink the Clown in Amarillo, Texas. I think that this was probably 1999, somewhere around there, 1991, 2000. And he shit canned me, threw me out, and the top middle rope grabbed a hold of my ankle. And that was I would think I was 3 years in the business. I didn't, you know, I was still wet behind the ears. So I reached up to grab it, and it came undone. The ref probably undone the ropes for me. And as I reached up, I landed and broke my clavicle.
Ugh.
Yeah. Ended up wrestling the rest of the match with him, did our finish, and then wrestled the next night in Hereford, Texas, in a battle royal and in a singles match, actually, with a broken arm, with a broken collarbone. But I was fortunate enough. 25 years. That's probably the biggest one that I've had. I mean, I've had a knee injury, but it wasn't from wrestling. Believe it or not.
Well, much respect for your toughness, because I don't know a lot of people that would have wrestled with a broken collarbone and a battle royal and a singles match right afterwards.
Well, you know, I was up and coming, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Ricky Romero.
Yep.
Yeah. That was actually his promotion. So the next day, I went to ask him if there's any way I could not work that day, and he's like, "Well, you're wrestling my grandson today.
Okay.
I really need you to get out there and put him over because you guys work really well together. Because me and his grandson worked several times." And I was like, "You got it." That right there just gave me the adrenaline for a legend just to be counting on me. Just gave me the adrenaline not to even feel my collarbone hurt. And I just went out there and we performed and we did great. I mean, Mark Youngblood was there, Chris Youngblood was there, just the whole nine, all the Romero family. They were an awesome family. I learned a lot from that family. And so that was the worst injury. That's it.
Wow. Okay, well, we asked the biggest star out of your promotion. I don't know if it's Doink, but I'm going to ask it anyway, and you can just... Who's the biggest wrestler you faced in your career?
The biggest wrestler was Sin Bodhi. I wrestled him.
Very cool.
I wrestled him, I think, in 2016. And the coolest thing about this match, because I was on I was wrestling for another promotion called DWO, and I was on this amazing winning streak. So they brought in this former WWE superstar to come in to take me out. And the coolest thing about Simbodi, he had long hair at the time, and he came out. And I didn't know that. Kind of made me jump in the ring. He came out and he lit his tie on fire, and it was fireworks. And I was in the ring, and I jumped, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And then after that, we just got into the momentum, and I mean, I was in awe for a few minutes, but then after that, just business as usual, and we ended up having a great match. I mean, he's a top-notch professional. I love the guy. He's great all around. Backstage, in the ring, he's just super professional, super great guy.
Very nice. So, if you could book one dream match from any generation, no questions asked, who would be in it and who would you put over?
Dream match, any generation?
Yeah.
I would have to go with Chris Jericho,
Right.
and Shawn Michaels in their prime, because they never really got a prime match.
No, they didn't.
They've wrestled each other, but not in their prime.
That's a great answer.
I mean, those two guys in their prime would be amazing. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, that would be an above 5-star matchup.
Mhm.
If they were in their prime. I actually went to WrestleMania 19 when they had the match in Seattle.
Yeah.
And that match was phenomenal in and of itself. But you're right. If it would have been when they were both at the top of their game, then it would have been incredible.
Oh yeah, it would have skyrocketed over Brett and Shawn for sure. And that match was great. But I mean, imagine that. Like, Brett and Shawn were great together. Imagine Jericho and Shawn Michaels together. Wow.
Oof. Wow. All right, Tony, you're up.
Okay, let's do your top 5 managers of all time.
Top 5 managers of all time. Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, for sure. Mr. Fuji. We're going back to my 80s. Mr. Fuji. Sonny. Love her or hate her, she was great. I thought she was a great manager. Who else? Who else was really top-notch managers? Slick was really good. I mean, yeah, we're just going back to all the ones that I enjoyed when I was a childhood fandom, right? And then of course Paul Heyman. Like, how can you not put that guy? He has just skyrocketed Roman Reigns' career like no other, right? I mean,
absolutely. So let's do another one of those. If you could book a WrestleMania card, say like 6 matches, from any generation, who would be on it and why?
Well, I'm going to be super selfish right now, and I'm going to say me and Chris Jericho. That would be definitely a dream match for me. Even now, in prime or not in his prime. I would like to see Rock and Roman. That would be good. Like, honestly, from a fans basis, not a workers basis, but from a fans basis. Brock Lesnar versus Hulk Hogan in his prime.
I came in at a good time.
Yeah.
From a Hulk Hogan fan standpoint, you just made me extremely excited.
Yeah. Like a Brock Lesnar, Hulk Hogan, they're just printing money. In their prime?
Yep.
Oh my God, that would have just been printing money, really. I would have liked to see Macho Man Jericho would have been amazing too. Like, imagine that. Unbelievable. Those would be
Unbelievable.
those would be some amazing matches. So
Well, I'd like to introduce our third co-host, Big Buddy Dodge.
how you doing?
Good.
Fashionably late as usual, I see.
He was making a Big Money entrance.
I had to. Come on, it only makes sense. Oh, I have to get that.
So, Big Money, do you have a question since you came in?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what questions you guys asked.
Well, how about this?
Well,
how
how
about
about
you
just
ask
ask a
one
question?
and we'll tell you if we asked it.
How about I ask a question to ask a question, then I'll ask that question to make a question.
I guess that makes sense.
I learned from Tony Khan.
Yeah.
So, favorite 5 indie female wrestlers.
Favorite 5
Didn't
indie
ask-
female wrestlers that I've worked with or that I've seen.
That you've seen or worked with. Either one.
Do you know Sarah Logan? She goes to Sarah Logan in the WWE, but
Yep.
before she was Mary Dobson, and that gimmick was unbelievable. And she's worked at a few shows that I've been on, and that was, that was good stuff. Crazy Mary Dobson. If you haven't seen it, look it up. That's good. I'll make a shout out to one of New Mexico's own, Valentina Loca. She's really, really good. I think she works with a lot of the midget wrestling right now, and she also just works regular. So she's really good wrestler. So, I actually worked with Shotzi too before she became in WWE.
Oh,
So
Ooh.
Very nice.
she was actually very pleasant and very, very professional. There's one named Barbara Jensen. She kind of works in Lubbock. She's a manager now, but she does really good work. And what was there was this one lucha named the Spider. I don't know if she's still around, but she was amazing, and it was in early 2000s that I worked with her for GCW in El Paso, Texas. She was amazing. So she was a great woman wrestler on the indie circuit.
Sweet.
Well,
Very nice.
Nathan, before you ask your next question, I'm going to re-announce my announcement so Mr. Dodge can actually hear the announcement.
You're
Oh, come on. You just want to rub his nose in it. But go ahead.
I want to say congratulations to CSW for putting on a phenomenal show yesterday. They crowned 3 new champions. One of them is, ladies and gentlemen, the new CSW Women's Champion, Pandemonium!
I knew that was going to be his reaction.
Panda.
Okay. I'm okay.
The other 2, since you threw that out there, you gotta.
The other 2 were Type 1 Warrior defeating I Am the Provider, and Mr. Jack Dillon defeating Ryzik.
Yeah,
Now that you're done,
I heard
Now-
it was a great show.
it was. Now that
It
you're done
was a
rubbing
great show.
Big Buddy Dodge's nose in it, it's your question.
Pandemonium. Okay, let's do let's
Oh, you don't have a question? Go ahead, Nate.
yeah, go ahead, Nathan. Pandemonium.
One track mind. So, let's see. What is the craziest thing you've ever seen from a crowd at one of your shows, or that you wrestled at?
Just crowd wise, I've seen guys get in the ring and get kicked out, like from the crowd. Probably the craziest thing, and the wrestler just beating the snot out of them. Crowd wise, on my part, when me and Hobo Hank did that documentary for Vice, I was wrestling him, and I was the heel. And I've always been a hero in this hometown. So I pretty much turned my back on him storyline wise. And when I came out, those people, they absolutely told me I sold out, and they were throwing trash. The whole match was just, I had the trash thrown at me, and I mean, it didn't never stop. I mean, it was a 20-minute match, and it never stopped. The booze never stopped. The trash never stopped. So that was the craziest crowd that I've ever seen.
Very nice.
So they liked you.
Yeah.
So they liked you.
Big Buddy, you got a question?
I have questions of the yin yang, but have you ever wrestled in Southern California?
You know what? I have not been to Southern California yet. I have not. A couple of my buddies have. They've wrestled in Barstow for, I think, is it Destination 6 or
D6, yeah, in Barstow, yeah.
the circus actually trained with me. I don't know if you've heard that. The 3-ring circus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Happy and 9.
We're-
So
Yeah,
they've worked on.
yep. Go ahead.
Go ahead. We're actually interviewing Mr. Happy, I believe, next week sometime.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Yeah, he trains with us. He's one of our big superstars here in New Mexico. So people love him. He's a great clown.
My wife loves clowns.
Obviously.
You're being sarcastic, right? Because we were told she hates clowns.
I am.
Well, he has had to sleep on the couch a lot, Tony, so that part could be true, too.
I'm
Okay.
actually a nice guy.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Okay.
Tony, your question.
What is the mark you want to leave on the wrestling industry when you're done?
As my legacy is just giving it back to the boys. Honestly, like I've done a lot in this wrestling industry. 25 years. I've been here, there, and everywhere. I really just like to give it back to them, and that's why we're running this promotion. This is why I just want to give back to and keep the kids dreaming of being a superstar. Because somebody took a chance on me, trained me. I want to pay it back. That's what my legacy is going to be. That I paid it back, and they just got everything out of me that they possibly could.
Well, I'm glad you stayed in the business that long. That's a long time. So thank you for your time and what you've done for the business.
So, as a fan or a wrestler or a promoter, has there been any wrestlers that you've come across that made you go, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm in front of this person right now"?
I remember back in 2001, before Rey Mysterio went to WWE, he wrestled in GCW, and that was just an awe moment. Like, honestly, he was one of the nicest people I've ever met, people-wise. But to be a wrestler and a superstar like that, I mean, he went and shook everybody's hand. He was super respectful. He didn't make you feel like he was a superstar. He just made you feel like he was just a normal person. And he's just all around generally a great guy. And we hung out with him at a strip club after. So it was
that's a family show, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, double bonus on that night. So it was pretty cool, like, honestly.
Well, I guess the bigger question would be, did he pick up the tab at the strip club?
Well, you know what? You want to hear something funny about the strip club we used to go to in El Paso? It was bring your own booze. So there was really no tab. We just brought our own alcohol, and it was fine, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't get that a lot, but in El Paso, right there by the border, it's a lot different. And I'll tell you that.
Looks like I gotta make a road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, say Say that quietly, Dodge, or you would be sleeping on the couch tonight.
Now you know why he wears his noise canceling headphones, so she doesn't know what he says.
Thank God for technology right now.
All right, Dodge, your question.
Your opinion, sir, on death matches. Have you been in one? And if so, with who?
Death matches. I've been on quite a few hardcore matches. I wouldn't call them death matches, but I've been in there with Rex Reed, Mosh Pit Mike, of course, the Provider. I mean, I think I went to Slave of the Death match to watch it once, and I think there was a few death matches before he started the death match, Slave to the Death match. I think I was a part of one then. I went through a table with Tax one time there.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, what I think of them, they play their part at certain times. Like if I had it in a promotion, that would be the gimmick match of the night. I don't know if I would do the whole entire show death matches, but it would be something, a title on the line or something very important. Why you would have a death match? That's how I feel like the death matches. How I would book the death matches.
very nice.
great answer. I agree with
All
you.
right, Tony Khan, you're up
Or do you have an announcement to make an announcement?
to make an announcement.
No announcements until the end of the show. I just had to rub the pandemonium thing in your face. But no,
So you gotta-
Nathan. I will leave my questions to your good hands, sir. Pandemonium out.
It's like a dog with a bone.
At least it's not Mikey O'Shea. I'm just saying.
So, what is the best advice that your trainer ever gave you, and do you still use that advice today?
I use that advice every single time I get in the ring. Best advice my trainer ever taught me is that those people out there paying the money to see you are the most important thing. And you're here to entertain them. You're not here to entertain the boys. You're not here to entertain yourself. You're here to entertain them. They paid their good money to see you. And you know what? If you give it to them, they'll give it back to you. And if you see me work, I'm a total people worker. I work the people. Whether it's heel or babyface, I go out there and I give them their money's worth each and every time. And that stays true every single time I get in that ring. That's the number one thing I remember.
It's funny you said that because we've been talking for a little bit now, and before you said that, I could even realize that just by the way we've been talking back and forth. So, thank you for that, because there's not a lot of people that are like that understand how to work a crowd like that.
Mm-hmm. And you want to hear something weird? I get in trouble for it when I work on TV. I don't work the hard cam. I'm too busy working the fans because I feed off of the fans. I feed off of the energy. And
yeah,
I mean, no matter how many times I've gotten in trouble, how come you didn't look at he was out there with the camera right in your face and you didn't sell to him or anything? Well, I was selling to the people that actually paid the money, right?
Right.
And I don't know how many times
TV,
I've gotten in trouble for that, but I live to wrestle another day, so
not the camera.
yeah. I mean, if I was ever in big TV, I guess I'd have to start. But until then, I'm happy just entertaining the people that pay, right?
As long as
Very
you
good
don't
point.
tell them they're adopted.
There's a story that goes into that.
There is a story behind that.
My very first match as a ref.
As a rep,
Oh, not ref. Excuse me, manager. Sorry, it's been a long weekend. Sorry. As a manager, I was walking down the aisle. This kid was yelling and screaming like no other, and I'm a heel. I turn around to make this kid shut up. The first thing that popped in my head to say, "Oh yeah, you were adopted, kid. So shut up and sit down." So he gave me the death look like. Come to find out, he was actually adopted after the show. So I felt bad being, I care about kids, of course, sometimes, but So I felt so bad. I was like, you pick out 3 of your favorite wrestlers, I'll buy the merch. As a matter of fact, I looked at the parents and I'm like, I'll pay for your next show tickets on me. I feel so bad. And the father came up to me, gave me the biggest hug, busting out laughing. He's all like, I know it's a show. I'm like, yeah, but this shit's real. Like, I feel bad, bro. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, so the next time he went to the show, I walked by him. I just all like, I'm not saying shit to this kid. Walked right by him, went straight to, I don't know if you heard of a guy named Bill Chu. He used to go to D6 all the time. He's an old timer ref. Anyways, I go to Bill, I grab his walker, throw it in the ring, be like, go fetch, and all this and that. Here I'm still hearing the kid, and I'm just all like, don't turn around. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. So after the match, I walk past this kid. He has a plate in his hand with nachos. Kept walking. And then it was intermission, so I bought him nachos. I'm like, here you go. Thanks for playing along, kid. Love you.
I was gonna say this kid's getting kind of expensive for you. 2 shows, you bought him merch, tickets, and some nachos.
So yeah, now I would always watch what I say to kids, because after that experience, I'm like, no, not going to say.
Well, it's not good on your bank account either.
Yeah.
No, it really wasn't.
I have a funny experience. It's kind of similar to that when I was in the ring one time. There was this kid that got up to go use the bathroom, and I was a heel. And I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and I stopped the match, and I look at him, and I was like, oh, hey, fat boy, sit down. How dare you think you can go to the bathroom during my match? And lo and behold, I am not kidding. He turned around and went and sat back down on his seat and waited to go till the end of my match.
Probably crossing his legs like, hurry up.
I could not believe that he listened to me. Usually most fans are, oh, screw you. I'm going to do whatever I want. He went and sat back down on the seat and finished the match. It was unbelievable.
It would have been even better if later he would have been like, can I go now?
I know, after the match.
At intermission, hey,
Yeah.
take my seat.
Can I get up?
Because I really have to go now.
That's funny though.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that he sat back down, because most fans wouldn't take that crap.
No, they wouldn't. They'd just be like, "Oh, you're in the ring. Forget you."
Yeah.
It's like okay, I have to go. I don't care what's happening here.
Right.
All right, Dodge, it's your question.
Of course it is. Have you asked them the scariest injury you've ever had in your career?
Yep.
Okay,
He broke his
sorry.
collarbone.
Oh, boy. Yeah, about that. Man, now I'm like picturing it. The biggest name you've ever wrestled?
We went over that, but I'll go over it again. Sin Bodhi.
Don't touch his. No. I'll never forget that. There was a 3PWA show, and he put it on the corner of the ring, and I was they call it the monkey. I grabbed the coats and whatnot. I grabbed it. Match started. He's all like, "Where the fuck is my doll?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I go back and bring it back. I'm like, "I'm so sorry." He's like, "Next time I'm like, F you up, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, sorry." So yeah, I love Simbodi, dude. That guy is he's a great guy to talk to.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah. But
I was telling these guys, he's a class act. He's really good in the ring, really good in backstage, really good with the boys. Just really easygoing and easy to get along with. And very, 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 very smart. and
Yes.
and he shares information. Like
Just
even if
because
you
a
don't,
clown look, don't
yeah,
think he's a dumbass or a crackhead. He's in that ring. He's very, very. I just love him.
So Dodge, playing off of the story that Thunder just told us. When Simbody said that to you, did you have to go to the bathroom?
I literally almost shit my pants, but him being in character and like actually having that pissed off look, I was all like, okay, I know he's selling, but still it's scary as hell. So here you go. And then I ran to the back and I was all like, I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. But no, yeah, Simbodi, that's I yeah. He's a legend in SoCal, I know that.
yeah. I mean, he's just legendary everywhere. I think. I mean, everybody loves the guy. I haven't heard anything and any ill things about somebody. He's been super great.
Okay, Tony, you're up.
Is it announcement time already? No.
Not
Go ahead
quite yet.
Go ahead and ask your final questions, boys.
So, what are your future goals in wrestling?
My future goals, really is just to maintain and promote a good show, and then just continue working until my body gives up. Really, actually, right now I feel like I'm 25 right now. I mean, I can't do all the flippity stuff that I used to, but I could still go out there and entertain. This past year, I will tell you, and it will be announced towards the end of the year. We wrestled the world's longest match, which was 24 hours.
Are you serious?
Yep, there were 7 of us here in Mountain Air, New Mexico. We wrestled 24 hours straight. It was a long, enduring match. It was something I probably will never do again, to be honest with you. I felt my body was going to break down several times, but it was worth it at the end. And I think if I could do that, I think I have the longevity to last quite a bit long time in the wrestling business.
No, that's a lot of rock stars and monsters during the match. It's not waters.
We actually had an ice chest underneath the ring. So when you got thrown out on your turn, you'd go down there and you'd rehydrate, have a snack.
That's a smart move.
Because we couldn't, Guinness Book's rules, you can't leave the ring. You could take 5-minute break here and there to go to the restroom, but that's about it. You couldn't do anything else. And they were really strict. They were really strict on the breaks too. You had to just run and get back ringside. So there was 2 people in the ring at all times, and I mean, a couple of guys broke down. We had one guy, his kidney gave out like in the 3rd hour. So he was just laying there for an hour, and he'd come in and work for maybe 5 minutes, and then go back out there and lay because he was just couldn't handle it. And there was times I think during the night where I was wrestling 40 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
Jesus. So I mean, it was long and grueling, but at the end it was worth it. I mean, once we hit that once we beat the mark, it was amazing. And the mark was actually 21 hours and 41 minutes, and we went the full 24. After we beat it, it just like all the aches and pains went away, and it's like the record's ours. Let's continue. And it was pretty neat. It was a good experience.
Well, I have to say this. I am very honored to have the chance to interview you for accomplishing that and for being in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's insane.
Yeah, so I think by the end of the year, it's going to be announced. I was talking to American Kickboxer 2. He's the one who put it on. And he actually held the record previously for 17 hours. So he brought us all together, and we did it because somebody had beat his record of 17 hours.
This is why I'm a manager, because I'm a lazy ass, but I still,
okay,
24 hours.
again, I have to say this. Anybody out there that complains about doing a 5 to 10 minute match, after hearing that, you can't complain about that anymore.
That's what I said. That was that was nothing compared to that. It's unbelievable.
Wow. 24-hour wrestling match.
Oh, geez. All right,
Dude,
Big
I
Buddy,
need a
your last
drink
question.
after that. Just what? Man.
There's no way.
Well, they just, yeah. Let me see. If you were to sign with the major promotions, who would it be, and who would your very first match be with?
You know, it sounds super weird that I would say this because everybody would say WWE, but I honestly would like to work with AEW. And if my very first match, my dream match there would be Chris Jericho, but my very first match would be Darby Allin.
Wow.
Very nice.
I would love to work Darby Allin.
Wow. That would be a hell of a match. Don't go 24 hours, though.
No.
Not with him. He's a skater, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a hell of a match.
So before Tony makes his announcements,
To make
his
it
announcement, I do want to bring up that in about a year, tentatively, we're going to be putting on our own wrestling show for our own promotion called IPW.
Okay.
And it'll be a benefit show. The first one will be a benefit show for the Special Olympics. And I would love to, if you're available, have you come out to Washington and wrestle for that.
Oh, yeah, you got it. If
It's
you
under
want me-
24 hours. It's under
Okay,
24
that's
We'll make it under 24 hours.
okay. you got a deal. That's for sure.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, that sounds
Absolutely.
That sounds awesome.
My last question would be, where can people find you on social media?
Social media. My personal social media is Solrak Thunder. On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. The company's is Dynamic Wrestling Entertainment, and that's also on Facebook and Instagram. So reach out to us. You can look at for any shows that are coming up, any results, any kind of matches. We also have a YouTube page that we're working on getting all our matches published on there. So.
And when's your next show?
Next show is Summerfest next Saturday, June 24th. Big matches there is going to be Turbo Tony versus Sid Luciano for the Dynamical Championship. Mosh Pit Mike versus Plex. That's just a singles match. And then I'm defending the Heavyweight Championship, which is right behind me, against American Kickboxer 2. So it should be a fun-filled night. We also have the 3-ring circus going to be in action. Valak Vile, our magician, he's going to be in action. If you have a chance to ever see that guy, he's really great. He's really entertaining.
I love that name. I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah, Valak Vile. I mean, he's great. If you have any chance to see that guy perform, he's really great. He's entertaining. He's funny. I mean, he just brings the whole bill there. So.
All right, Tony, I think it's time for your announcement.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, I don't see our co-host on the bottom screen with his promotional flyers available.
God, why do I have to do this?
Well, it's your thing. Of course you'd have to put the promotional.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to promote Big Money Dodge and Big Money Compound, the first ever online wrestling training school. Starting in July, that's right, 3 short weeks away. 3 short weeks away, Dodge.
I heard.
And Thursdays. $25 a session, $150 a month. First trainer will be none other than 20-year veteran SoCal Crazy. And you can find the information on Big Money Dodge's Instagram or Big Money Compound Instagram. Great cause. Wrestling fan or anybody that wants to go into wrestling or wrestlers alike, please support this man. Help him live his dreams of becoming a promoter. Please. He pays me to say this, so.
You're welcome. And by the way, can I make it actually a question? You've been in the business over 20 years. I respect the hell out of you for what you've done. I would be stupid not to ask, would you become a trainer? It's only 1 hour on Tuesday and Thursday, and basically sharing your knowledge of the industry.
Sure, I could do something like that. Yeah.
That would mean a lot to us. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that includes this announcement for this podcast. Again, I also want to send out love again to CSW. Great show last night. You raised a lot of money for the hospice. I won't poke no more at Dodge with the certain name that he does not like. So, with that being said,
sorry.
for joining us this afternoon. We have one more interview this evening. For all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And we'll see you this evening at 6 p.m.
Thank you again very much.
Thank you very much.
Happy Father's Day. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You too. Thank you.
Take care.